thinking in terms of self-cultivation, making yourself stronger internally. What does that actually mean? What's really important to understand is that when you make yourself stronger inside, it's about your mind, which connecting with your emotions, your thoughts, your emotions, the rest of your senses, where they're not being pulled all over the place, so you can maintain a straight, very, very strong balance, harmony, if you will. And so much out there about personal development, so much out there about controlling your mind. Well, the fun thing about that is that you have to actually do the work internally. We call that self-introspection. Yes, you ask yourself why, you ask yourself how, but you don't just stop at one answer. You keep going. You go for a little while until you kind of, one, get tired of asking, or two, you break through. Now, if you get tired of asking and you can accept whatever answer you get, now the work begins. Now you have to actually tweak up and change your approach to things that brought you the experiences you didn't like. And if you keep pushing, and then you break through, well, now you still have to do the work of changing your habits and changing your perspectives. You have to do the extra work, and the extra work is actually the main work you're going to need to do to actually change and make your world in your mind better, greater, fitting to what you want. You can take perspectives all you want on the world is going to be this particular way and I have to act that particular way, whatever that is for you. You can take perspectives of slave mindset. Oh, I can't get ahead. I can't do this. There's crazy people controlling the world and I can't make myself better. And, they're always going to keep us down. You can take that perspective and do well with it. At least be at a specific level of living and always resenting and regretting. Or you can say, okay, that shit happens. But despite that stuff happening, I'm still going to push and do and learn new skills and, make myself usable and use myself, because you're being usable to you. You have the idea, you have to have skills, so you have to use you to make something. And then your value is put out. It's merit. People see it. People feel it from you. And then you become something better, because now you get to reshape and then reshape again and keep reshaping. So messing around with your mind is important. We do it every day, but it's important in the aspect of a cultivator, because the cultivator is going to put particular things in the mind, put particular habits every day to build and become strong through, so they can shape, mold the kind of lifestyle they want to live. Now, as a cultivator in the modern world, okay, it's different from how it was in the old world. Old world meaning 300-400 years ago. Now, the difference is that we are in a greater network of society, a matrix, if you will, that connects the whole world. That's a lot. In the old days, you didn't. You had your community. You had your little village or town, or whatever. And there wasn't much to have an influence in you unless you traveled. So the cultivator of the way wants to travel and learn and experience interdependence. And then now we have exactly what I'm using to record this. We have a computer. We have smartphones. We can reach people from all over the world. We can understand. We don't have to travel to other parts of this world in search of the doubt, in search of the way. You can just meet up in some group online or send out a video and meet someone that way and discuss points of views and shape, configure, and understand. You can, from your home, do so much. And this is the thing about being cultivator of the way in this modern world, is that you still go in through introspection, but you also utilize worldly wisdom to live properly. It means you have to have the balance of two things: worldly wisdom and inherent wisdom. You can be enlightened in all super creamy oneness of the universe, but you can be broke and have no money. Obviously, that's what broke means. No food, no place to live, tattered clothes, suffering in the weather, suffering a lack of personal integrity and no confidence, but you are awakened, you understand. You are free from the chains of social constructs and cultural and traditional constructs and all forms of constructs. You see through it all. Non-duality. That's cool. But your body still needs to eat. You still need sustenance. Having just enough is not the pinnacle of a cultivator's life. Want is not bad. Just don't make it be the thing that drives every small little aspect and builds up a perspective that all who do not have what you have are useless. It's a poisonous thought. So we put that aside now. Cultivator should have money, be well with money, be well with finances, and be financially educated. Have a good place to live. Have good quality things. They will become a reflection. Doesn't mean that if you don't have it, you're bad. It's not that at all. It just means that if you're a cultivator and you have this path of awakening and enlightenment, you must balance both aspects of this world. Inherent wisdom and worldly wisdom. Worldly wisdom is you know how to move through and navigate the workings of the world, society, how to do with interdependence, this mutual reliance. You have a strength, have a skill, you bring that skill to others. Others find your strength, find value in it, they exchange something for it. And this exchange could be anything. When it comes to being financially educated, cultivators sometimes forgets that they need to do that. Money is not evil. How you utilize it determines that. Have as much as you can actually create. Live well. Do good with others. Do good for yourself. Even if it's just for your immediate surroundings. That's fine. But you don't drop one aspect and go on this holier than thou other aspect. Because that's not balance. Okay? So as a cultivator, we have to really work that. If you are into the cultivation world and you're doing your meditation practice and you're doing your spiritual stuff, learn how to make money. Learn how to hold a job. Get a job, understand why that sucks. Create one, and then create 5 more. Because with a lot of money, you can help a lot of people. You can create more jobs, or you can create more companies. You can create more opportunities where people can utilize their skill and present that to the world too. And become this, we create this grand reflection of an interdependent world, because we already live in such a world. And when you do that, everyone wants to grow. They can rely on like-minded people to bring them up, to push them up, to give them the conditions to toil a little, suffer a little, work hard and smart, and grow. But just for the you right now listening to this, it is very important to understand these two things: worldly wisdom and inherent wisdom. You have inherent wisdom, it's already there. You just have to toil the mind to clear the senses so you can realize what's already there. And then you apply that to the world, knowing how to communicate with others, knowing how to develop things and make money so you can survive. And then with that, you can help other people if that is your desire. So money and wisdom, wisdom and money, learn a skill, do good, make a lot of money and help other people in the process. As you get good, so will other people. There's nothing wrong with that. Because if you don't have anything to sustain yourself, you cannot offer such a benefit to other people. You got to be well-rounded in this world. And you work your hardest at it. There's outlets all over the place. Just got to do. And if you have ideas and you want to be creative and you want to do the wonderful, cool stuff of being a creative individual, go out and do that. And learn how to make that help support you financially. I'm really pushing this financial independence thing because I've been in the cultivation world for over 30 years. And a lot of people, spiritualists, very poor. Some aren't, but some are very poor. And the majority push out the feeling of if you are doing the world of cultivation and you are into like spirituality, you have to put money aside. Yet, they're using phones and computers. And capitalism is horrible and evil. It's not. It's how you utilize the system makes it bad or good. And that will be dependent on the individual, as all things do. And then there are certain systems that just are not good. But anyway, definitely get the perspectives correct. You don't want to be dependent on a system. You want to learn the system, work through it, manipulate it, and pick yourself up through it. Because then once you know how to move through the processes, you can show other people how to move through those processes and become something great. And that's really an important aspect here. So you don't need to, here it is, it's just that you don't need to hate on money because you're a spiritualist. Okay, you're into New Age stuff, you're into meditation and all that. You don't need to hate on capitalism. It doesn't equate hating on capitalism. The spirituality has no bias. But that word has just been so thrown out of proportion and misconstrued and all that crap that it drives people into the wrong direction. So I don't use that word much. I use the word cultivate. To toil, to nourish through your mind. Nourish your mind and toil through it. To clear away the things that obstruct you from moving forward. For example, me making this video. It's hard to tell people that, hey, this practice, these are unbiased things. It doesn't care about religion. It doesn't care about politics. It doesn't care about social ideals and other types of idealisms. It is strictly just the realized state of thusness, this unbiased, non-dual thing that is all of us, and everything around us. You can utilize them as tools to grow. And the world is not going to be built on just idealisms. You have to create social structures that actually build people and bring them up and make them wealthy, and then they can help other people, and they can be wealthy. And then why is that important? Because without an exchange, a value of exchange, you will suffer. That's the systematic aspects of our world. You have value, you have a marketable skill, then you can make some money. You know how to manage, you become a manager. You know how to make things, you make things and you sell them. You know how to farm, you farm and you sell your goods and you make money and you can support your family. You see what I'm saying here? So if you're creative, and you have to also get financially smart. You have to. Or you'll just struggle holding on to principles of, oh, I don't care about money because I love what I do. Well, make what the love of your life, which is what you do, support you. You can only do that if you understand how to utilize the system. And you utilize the system by learning a skill, getting into the system, and then developing your own, and then building that. It's called the business. And as you go, you grow. It's a simple thing, but it takes time and it takes work, and that's what you're supposed to do. If you're a cultivator of the mind, all the things of your experiences of the world are of your mind. So you're going to have to deal with that. And that's just the big talk. That's what you need to do. So a cultivator of the way knows how to traverse the world because they understand that the world is made up of various connections, the interconnectivity of things. It's on various levels. Society, family, okay? You have to know, and you only know by experiencing and questioning, self-introspection. And what is that knowing? How to move through the network of all things, the matrix of all things, if you will. So you have to go through it to understand it. Then you realize that that is not the end-all be-all. You can break from that. So you start to create your own system, your own way, and you thrive and you survive, and then you start to flourish. And that's another aspect of cultivation. Nourishing, toiling, becoming awakened, and realizing this great spiritual oneness, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'll just call it this unbiasedness, this thusness, because that's the truth. The truth is we are all interconnected, but we have varying expressions of that interconnectivity that we can piece together, put together, and bring it to others. And if they connect with you on certain things, then you build that community. If they don't connect with you, then you don't build that community. It's not always just about this technique in meditation, or this technique in moving your chi, or this technique in cultivating the mind. It's not always about that. It can also be about how do you direct your attention? How do you maneuver this particular skill to make this particular outcome happen? And then you succeed. And you make yourself better.